Hey guys, Nuzley here, and today we're back from a YouTube video. Today we have Speedrunner Mario, also known as Wahoo, from TerminalMontage, versus El Hermano from Dragon Ball X. If you enjoy this video, dislike and subscribe. This is the 100th video on the channel, which is pretty neat, and also the 50th versus video, so I figured I'd make it, quite the special one. If you enjoy this video, dislike and subscribe. Make sure to join the Discord down below if you want to, partake in polls and votes for future videos. And yeah, let's just get right into it. For strength and attack potency, Speedrunner Mario was capable of fighting Supersonic, who was able to stop Solaris, who was going to destroy all conceivable timelines and universes, which would therefore make him multiversal. However, he was also able to match Darkon. This is also the same Darkon that could control millions of Master Hands, who individually all surpass Arceus, who created the Pokemon multiverse. So he is at least multiversal plus, going by this. You could possibly argue low complex multiversal, seeing that Darkon is just, millions and millions of Master Hands worth, if not probably more. And then seeing how infinitesimal Arceus is to Master Hand, yeah, you could probably make the high ball he has low complex multiversal. El Hermano, meanwhile, is far superior to Jiren, who is able to beat the first, Ultra Instinct Omen Goku, who shook a world, or rather a realm, of infinite no time or space, which is also multiversal. Gohan Blanco, who El Hermano is superior to, at least in base, was able to effortlessly one-shot Superman, who is capable of fighting Kal-El, who was capable of fighting a slightly weaker Superboy Prime, or at least a Superboy Prime wasn't at his full potential yet, who is capable of fighting Time Trapper, who is going to destroy all time within a multiverse. So you could also have El Hermano high multiversal as well, seeing that he was able to effortlessly stomp all of them, and even Gohan Cavalo was ranked lower than El Hermano in the official tier list. So for who's more powerful, it is more than likely a tie. You could make the argument that Speedrunner Mario has the edge, because of just, how much more powerful Darkon is to Master Hand, who Master Hand is to Arceus. But then also, you have to consider how much more powerful Gohan Blanco is to Superman, and, El Hermano being more powerful than a transformed Gohan Blanco, let alone that Gohan Blanco to beat Superman. So I'm going to have it as a draw, albeit in a little bit more of Speedrunner Mario's favour. As for speed, and Speedrunner Mario has constantly been stated to have infinite speed. However, since he fought Supersonic, he can actually be scaled to immeasurable speed, which is higher than infinity. This is because Supersonic is capable of fighting Solaris, who was omnipresent, therefore giving him immeasurable speed. El Hermano, meanwhile, is stated capable of travelling throughout all of time with literally no limitations, which also implies immeasurable speed. So, unlike with the attack potency point, there isn't really a character who may have the edge, but is more likely just a draw here. As for durability, and Mario almost died in his fight with Darkon, which implies that high multiversal to low complex multiversal would be his durability. El Hermano, literally, on the other hand, cannot take damage in physical, spiritual, conceptual, any sort of way. The only way that's known to kill El Hermano is through old age, but we'll soon get onto that in the weaknesses point. So, yeah, El Hermano has a durability point here. For abilities, weaponry, and techniques, Speedrunner Mario has his iconic backwards long jump, which can break through reality. He also has his iconic slap as well, which deals large amounts of damage. He has body control, as he can twist his neck 180 degrees with no consequences, and also distort his body and stretch his limbs also. He can reality warp, as you could have already have guessed. He can fly. He can, limited reflect attacks, because he's been able to reflect bullets with his cape before, but it's unknown what the extent of that is. He also has pyrokinesis, also meaning he can, fire off fireballs. He can create explosions just by colliding into things. It can also phase through walls, as also. He also has nigh omniscience, as he's always 4 parallel universes ahead of you and knows every single one of your moves, at least at some point in the fight. That being said, he can also, of course, travel throughout these universes and time travel as a result. He can create duplicates of himself, open portals to other timelines and parallel universes, and also his speed increases over time also. So even though the speed was a draw and, like, you know, looking at things, he would eventually get the better of El Hermano in terms of speed. He can also travel throughout space, you know, meaning he doesn't need to have oxygen. He also can summon a demon of sorts, or at least when he gets angry enough, a demon can summon, which does attacks for him. He can also hit ghosts also. He has weather manipulation, as he can create tornadoes that can span over countries and worlds. Speedrunner Mario can also create after images also. He has minimal shapeshifting, as he can turn himself into a master hand also. And of course, he has a gun. El Hermano has key manipulation. He can fly, he can open portals by screaming as he surpasses Gotenks who could do so. He also has El Ferrer, which is a power-up of sorts, which gives him more power, go figure. El Hermano can also teleport. He's a master martial artist, as you can use the Kai, which can repel targets back the way, the Infinity Rush, which is essentially a really powerful barrage of attacks, and the Shock Tornado, which is essentially a kind of counter-attack sort of move. His body can react on instinct, meaning he doesn't even need to think to dodge attacks, meaning he can dodge faster. His determination, or at least more determination, equals more power. He can create barriers, can have invisible attacks, and can deflect large-scale attacks also, at least much more reliably than Super Mario can. He has resistance to empathic manipulation. He can fuse with other beings and just straight up bring them back to life if he so wishes. So I'd argue that El Hermano has the slight versatility advantage. If there is the better abilities, I'd probably say it's El Hermano also. Yeah, being able to know what your opponent's going to do and have increasing speed is really quite useful, but also having power that can increase, you know, being able to dodge on instinct, and just generally all the abilities I've just listed are pretty broken, so I'd give a versatility point and abilities point to El Hermano. As for weaknesses, Speedrunner Mario doesn't really have that much. If he takes too much damage while using the Cape Feather, he can lose his ability to fly, although even then he has shown being able to fly without it, so he'd probably also really just lose his attack reflection, or any hope he would have had with that. Also, with the demon, like if the demon's being used and someone chants some sort of ritual around him, it can be exercised, so he can lose his powers essentially. As for El Hermano, he doesn't really have any weaknesses. Yeah, he's vulnerable to age manipulation, but it's not really a set weakness, so I would argue that Speedrunner Mario is more vulnerable than El Hermano. Now for the conclusion, Speedrunner Mario, as we've concluded from this, is more powerful and goes on to be more faster. And El Hermano is more durable, has better abilities, is more versatile, and is less vulnerable. So who wins the fight? This is stupidly close. We can immediately throw out the vulnerability thing because none of them will really affect the fight that much, except for maybe one thing which I'll go over later on. The main way that El Hermano wins is he would have to immediately go all out and completely, you know, blitz Speedrunner Mario, seeing that if Speedrunner Mario can build up too much speed, then he's not really going to be able to hit him. On the flip side, Speedrunner Mario can't really kill El Hermano. El Hermano has lost before, which means that if he can, you know, build up his speed, avoid hits from El Hermano, he could eventually win, especially with his reality warping and hopping from parallel dimensions and universes. The thing is, El Hermano can also travel between parallel universes, so it's not really, you know, a unique thing to Speedrunner Mario in this fight. There's also the argument to be made that with Speedrunner Mario dodging all of El Hermano's hits, he can get more and more determined, making him more powerful eventually than Speedrunner Mario, which could therefore mean that if he gets so much as he gets like one hit in, then Speedrunner Mario could lose. So for who's more likely to lose, I have absolutely no idea. Both of them have got, you know, quite concrete ways of winning, or at least, you know, winning the battle. Speedrunner Mario can't really kill El Hermano. You know, so I probably have to call it a draw, to be fair. You could say that because of Speedrunner Mario's, like, reality warping and dimension hopping, he could, you know, sort of play into El Hermano's weakness of age manipulation, but as I've already said, El Hermano can also do what Speedrunner Mario can do when it comes to hopping into dimensions. He can even open portals himself. So, again, I'm probably going to have to say that this overall fight is a draw, seeing that both ways you could call for each character winning, I would argue is as likely as each other. Like, there's no concrete, or at least no character that's absolutely one-sided. You can see that character winning more often than not. Yeah, both opportunities for winning, I'd say, is equal as a chance of happening as the other. If you enjoyed this video, dislike and subscribe. For the next video, I'm planning on doing Kid Sasuke Uchiha from part 1 of Naruto against Killua Zodiac from Hunter x Hunter. So yeah, stay tuned for that video.